What's up, Kingdom? If you don't like normal Last Epoch skins, then probably you will like this build. Lich, yeah, this character is awesome. Let me show you how he plays out. And you can get idea, do you want to play this character? And Lich is basically Acolyte build. And as normal Acolyte or Warlock, you play like this, basically running around, doing some skills, some spells and other stuff. But now instead of doing it, you transform her into Lich and running around with really crazy amounts of damage, nice mobility, and basically destroying your enemies easily and steadily. So looking cool, gameplay is really easy, straightforward. It can be a little bit hard in the late game if you transition to different type of builds, but with this build it's really easy and you can start playing it as soon as possible. You don't need a lot of gear and other stuff. So if you're already enjoying this build and gameplay, if you think it's looking cool and fun, then stick and let me explain what skills and passive you need and how to level them up. So when you progress the campaign and get to the subclass changing, you pick in Lich, and first skill you'll get is Reaper form. That's what it is basically. You transforming into Reaper and now your health depletes over time and depletes really fast. When you're in a Reaper form and your health depleted completely, you will be back to your normal form with full HP. All extra damage you will take will be inflicted to your HP, of course. So be careful not to get double-shotted, not even one-shotted. And I guess it's self-explanatory that to make this form useful, you need some forms of health regeneration. But not exact health regeneration, you need some forms of Lich, because health regeneration not working when you are in Reaper form. So this build is very good because it combines your basic skills from Acolyte. It will be Rip Blood, it will be Transplant, and Bone Curse. So these three skills is very nice when you just leveling your character. They're really good for your starting build and you can level up them really quickly. Then when you get in your Lich, you get in your Lich form and next spell you unlock is the Seal. But of course you need some time, because first of all you unlock in Drain Life, then Aura of Decay, and only then Death Seal. And the Seal is our secondary best damaging ability. So that's our skill list, and while it will be your main damaging ability, you want to reduce mana cost as soon as possible. That's why our first node will be top left, increasing cast speed, so you will cast it faster with Hammermancer. Then you get into the top left again, and now you're reducing mana cost and also increasing casting speed. Now your Reblood will be almost completely free, but also I recommend getting this node, Carrion Hunger. When you're out of mana, you can cast this spell basically for free. So this spell basically dealing damage to your target and getting back his blood to you, it will restore your health. That's our form of life leeching. Now when we are not caring about our mana consumption, we can go to the bottom side, and Reblood will have significantly higher chance to make a blood splatter. But get this node right after you get at least one level in splatter, so Reblood will have a chance to create blood splatter for additional damage, basically. Super easy. Now when you level up a little bit more, go to the top right side and get Arcane Absorption. To increase damage even more, with additional buff, you will get additional spell damage on every hit. And also get at least 2 levels here to get to Rip Spirit. Rip Spirit is very nice because it will convert physical to necrotic damage, and most of your other spells will do necrotic damage, scales with necrotic damage, that's why it's really important stuff. You don't want physical damage on your spell that is most useful and most used at the same time. And then extra levels and more levels can go to the Run Dry, it will increase damage. And then when you get additional levels, you can get even Blood Catalyst. So Blood Catalyst is a really cool one. Reblood will automatically cast itself on nearby enemy if it kills an enemy. So basically you spam in the skill and it will recast automatically when it kills someone by draining your mana, but because it costs no mana if you're out of mana, basically it's really incredible synergy. But it will remove ability to gain health because it will be no blood orbs. So think twice when you pick in this node, and pick it only if you got extra leech from other skills and maybe from your gear mostly. In later stages of the game this looks like this, earlier it looks like blood splatter basically. Our next ability to combine with it is curse, bone curse. So, bone curse applying a curse on enemies in area for 8 seconds, and it causes physical damage when hit. The damage is tripled if you inflicted the hit yourself. So, you're doing this area of effect curse on the enemies, and now your damage is tripled with Rip Blood. Really incredible. And in Bone Curse, you want to level up bottom stuff. It will increase area of effect of this curse, so you don't need to cast it a lot of time in a battle. Very powerful one, and get 4 points in it to get to the bottom right side with Sigil of Mortality. Bone Curse now will apply Mark of Dash for 2 seconds, but cost more mana. That's manageable because Mark of Dash will reduce all resistances of enemies by 25%. So, really nice stuff. Now let's fix our mana. And we go into the right side with Crippling Anguish, basically slowing stuff, and going to the top after spending 1 point in the Snail node and getting this book. So, book will increase mana efficiency and casting speed. Very powerful stuff. But don't get more than 2 points here. Instead, start leveling Cursed Limbs. So Cursed Limbs is really nice. Now, after you cast in Bone Curse, you will get buff for a few seconds. And while this buff is on you, every other cast will inflict this curse to your enemies. So you just cast it once, and basically you can cast Reblood for 5 seconds, and this Reblood will apply Bone Curse. And also get to the right node of the book, it's Chiblanes, and basically it will chill enemies on hit, give you some protection, some disable of your enemies, so that's nice idea to have this stuff too. And also because Bone Curse is physical damage, you can get a little bit of defile defenses. Bone Curse have a chance to reduce enemy armor and go down here for Marrow Thief. If you kill enemy affected by Bone Curse, you have a chance to gain bone armor, which grants you more armor and less damage taken. So pretty nice buff, that's what we're leveling here. And also while you're going through the map and applying Bone Curse and doing your Reblood, you want to travel faster. That's where comes Transplant. But at the same time, you see damage is really impressive at the same time. Transplant creating body and destroys your old body, basically like that. Looking brutal. Let's see how we level it up. Because we will be using this skill mostly for traveling through the map, I want to start with Fleeting Form and increase casting speed and cooldown recovery to cast it more often. Then we get in Anemia, we are reducing cast cost, because this spell costing your health on cast. But getting only 2 points here to go to the left side with Bone Armor, which will increase your armor, you will take less damage, and you will get it on teleport. So basically, if you play it correctly, you will get bone armor every time with this stuff and also with Bone Curse. Then you can expand nodes over here for plated bone to increase effect of bone armor, and also apostasy to increase duration of bone armor. But before you went to these armor nodes, instead I recommend going to the Sticky Blood after you get in health cost reduction and maybe 1 stack of bone armor, get Sticky Blood. Because if you go in defensively and running away from enemies, you will create this blood that will slow down enemies and it will make you easier to run away. So then you go into the bottom side, Acolyte Terror, and you definitely can have at least 1 level in it early to gain Hast after you using this teleport skill. Again, for some protection, you can get Dance of Blood. When you teleport and you cast Reblood automatically, and also Rain of Blood will create additional body that detonates on arrival to increase damage. And also go down here for Doombringer to get Bone Curse on arrival. So when you're using it offensively, you just teleport on enemies and doing Bone Curse and Reblood instantly. For really impressive damage and also Violent Emergence. Is nice note over here when you're using this Turnsplate. Explosion, it will instantly kill enemies below 15% health if you spend 3 points over here. So if you're fighting bosses that got a really big amount of health, I guess it's not working on bosses, but on some elites it's working really nicely, so they are below some health threshold, you just jump in and they are destroyed. Also, it works on enemies, so that basically not one-shotted by this ability. And now let's go to the fun part. Of course, it's our Reaper form and dash seal. So it's very nice to know that in a Reaper form, your Reaper ability will change and it will become a Reap ability. So Reap ability is basically little teleport that can restore some health on kill, but mostly you will use it to juke some one-shot abilities and strong attacks by bosses and other enemies. And normally it will share cooldown with your transplant. So for more mobility and more like teleportation and your speed for map clearing, it's very nice to start with Mistress of Decay, get at least 1 point over here. It will make your health decay more slowly, and also you will deal increased damage over time. Our main skills is not scalable with damage over time, but still, mostly we're getting it for health decay. But we're going bottom to get Swift Harbinger. It will increase cooldown recovery speed of a Reap ability. But also, after you get 1 point here, you want to get Unholy Dominion. Now you will have different cooldowns for your Reap and Transplant abilities. So to be really fast as Lich, you want this nose over here. And you want to really be fast, otherwise your Reaper form will turn off when you don't see any enemies to leech from. You can go to Ghastly Flow to travel more fast, but actually it's better to go for Soul for a Soul. You will have increased damage, but healing effectiveness will be reduced. It's a fair exchange, because you're doing more damage, you're basically leeching more, so reducing your healing is not a problem. And also it will give you ability to go to Reaper's Curse. Note, and while in Reaper form, you deal increased damage and have increased critical strike chance, basically increasing your damage, but make sure you're keeping your Reaper form at this point already, because you will lose health on kills, so you need to be like 100% sure that you can regain your health. But then you can get dash comes quickly, you gain swiftness chance on kill, very nice to travel faster, and also rapid destruction, next node, increases attack speed and casting speed to cast Ray Blood more often. That's our main nodes over here, but also you can get more levels in Soul Shroud to get more armor per point of your intelligence, and Wild Shroud. Necrotic resistance per point of your intelligence will be rising. Also poison resistance. And last skill is dash seal. So normally dash seal is basically preventing you from healing, so you're doing it, and as you can see, no potions is working. I'm using potions, but they are not working. And also it damages you at the same time. But normally you casting it and it's basically staying on you, and then you can cast it one more time to make a big explosion. We don't want the skill to behave like this, and that's why we want to go to the left side as fast as possible, just get 5 points in Corrupted Concussioness. It will increase damage per your missing health, and then you get Immortal Pulse. So now this will be casted every second and do damage every second, with reduced damage overall for one wave, but now instead of 100 damage with one wave, you're doing 40 damage with each wave. And as you can see, it's 1, 2, 3, already more than 100 damage, already more than 200 damage, already more than 300 damage, really crazy amount of damage. And also it's nice to get Tachycardia to increase wave of dash frequency. Then while you're leveling and getting your gear, I recommend getting skills in the right side. Get few points in Moratorium to increase duration, so while increasing duration, you will increase amount of waves casted basically, and soul stability. So it's nice to stop health draining from some sources, but not from Reaper form, don't forget about it. Also, you will get Quicken the Dead to gain haste when you casting this spell, and also for each wave you will get Doom Call, which will inflict Damned to increase more damage, more power, and also you can have few points in Carrion Breach to increase area of effect. But when you're getting some points in this, make sure to go to the left side and get Desperate Shroud, 3 levels of it. You get stun avoidance and armor per missing health, so you're increasing your survivability. But you get 3 points here to get Deadlock. Deadlock is a risky stuff, and get it only later into the game when you get more gear. Especially if you're using my loot filters, best in slot gear already over there, so if your health is above 33% of your maximum, it will be reduced to 33% of your maximum health. Why? We want to use it to increase damage with Corrupted Concussioness, so it will be a really powerful combination. And that's our skills. Again, it's really simple. You just go into Reaper form, you cast your Bone Curse, starting doing Rip Blood on your enemies, and also traveling through the map with turned on their seal, and then using Rip and teleport abilities. That's basically everything you need to do. But what passives you need and how to scale it even more. Build is super simple. You just have 20 points in Acolyte, so 4 points in Bone Aura, and 8 points in Forbidden Knowledge to increase your intelligence and necrotic resistance. Then you get 8 points in Stolen Vitality to increase your vitality, and that's it basically. You don't need anything over here. Then you go into Lich and leveling Lich. So with Lich you want to have Uppercut Freya to increase your intelligence by 10 and mana regeneration. And we don't need a lot of skills over here, so it's better to get Dance with Dash, increasing damage. And also it will be tripled when you are below 35% health, again combination with our Dash Seal ability later on. And also health and spell damage leached as health, 4%. So you want to start with 10 over here, 8 over here. It will be 18, you will be somewhere over there, so basically get a few points in Dance with Dash, and then get Crippling Insight to increase your intelligence up to 16 and reducing your health regeneration. That's completely fine, you don't need health regeneration in Reaper form anyway, but intelligence buff is really insane. Then, because you're doing physical and necrotic damage mostly, get 3 plagues to increase your physical and necrotic penetration. And then basically you want to have everything over here, just 4 points in Dashbringer to increase critical strike chance and also casting speed, and then 5 points in each. In Dark Guard for increasing critical strike chance even more, and gaining some Bard on critical strikes, and also increasing critical strike multiplier. Damage is really impressive in this build, that's why scaling with critical strike and critical strike multiplier is a must. And also you can have 10 points in necrotic energy by increasing spell necrotic damage plus 20. Sometimes you need to use a potion and do it before a fight to reduce damage taken, necrotic and physical. So pretty useful buff, but get it later in the game. First of all, get Ageless Ascetic to increase attack speed, casting speed and movement speed, and also damage leached as health on hit. Again, we want to leech as much as possible, and that's why we want to get these nodes over here as fast as possible too. So more will basically give you damage leached as health 5%, and increase health leech by 25%, so leeching is really insane. And at the same time, mind over body, get as much points over here as possible. I'm not maximum level right now, so I don't have a lot of points in here, but I will definitely invest in this part. So you're getting a lot of intelligence every point, but you're getting current health drained per second. That's why my health not at maximum right now. Basically, you're starting to drain your health. It will be reducing until you stabilize your health regeneration and health depleting. So for me right now, it's 753 health. Getting gear for this build is really easy. You need some legendaries later on, some uniques, but this build will function without them really easily. But at the same time, you want mostly necrotic and spell damage increase on your gear. At the same time, you want some intelligence and casting speed. That's it basically. That's everything you need. A little bit of casting speed. Mostly you want actually critical strike chance, spell critical strike chance, and of course critical strike multiplier. So that's it. That's the build. I hope you enjoyed it. Watch other cool videos from the skin right now and see you in the next videos.